different teams. Both in you ready. Everything how you is. As a that. Like this. Some stuff around today. Stop. Stop.
Always looking and listening. Katrina explained later. Next danger ahead. Perhaps even follow members. Gave her. Which of her previous students would have dared? Which of them would have tried? But now, what could she accomplish? She's a good assessed her news.
Hi everyone! It's been a while. It's the last day of August, and I thought I would do like a vlog or something. Today's Wednesday, and on Wednesdays I have the morning to myself. Both of my kids are otherwise occupied for the morning until like noon or 1, and so I thought I'd spend a little bit of time with you this morning. How are you? Is your morning going good? What are you doing at about 9 o'clock? I just dropped Lucy off at preschool, and I'm drinking some coffee. And I thought I'd show you what I've been knitting, because where'd all the knitting go? It's very slow. So my knitting mojo is still like super down in the dumps. I did finish a pair of socks that I was working on the last time I did a knitting dedicated video, and that's great. I love those socks. They were out of some Moonstone Dyeworks, which is my yarn, out of some yak blend in like a deep maroon color, and I really like those socks. But I will show you those in another dedicated knitting video. Right now I'm just going to show you what I'm working on. It's another pair of socks, and it's also out of Moonstone Dyeworks yarn. This is the Piranesi colorway, and this is actually kind of a one-off skein. This one came out a little bit different than how the colorway normally turns out. It's so this colorway has a lot of deep blues, but also a lot of this like kind of ochre mustard gold kind of color. And this one just had so much more blue than that golden color than all of the other skeins. So I decided to keep this one for myself and knit some socks out of it. So here it is. I'm knitting some shorty socks, which I like don't hardly ever do. But this is the first one. It looks like a black blob, sorry. But I've been working on this for like a month. Like I said, I just haven't been knitting that much lately. I don't know why. I think about knitting sometimes and I want to cast on a sweater, and then I think about all the sweaters that I have that I don't wear, and it makes me not want to do it. But it is the end of summer, so that kind of mostly explains all of those feelings. So now that it's really starting to be fall, I'm hoping that I want to cast on a sweater soon. It's still late summer technically, but it's sprinkling today and it's very overcast and cold today, which is really nice. So it's definitely starting to feel like fall. So I'm hoping this kind of thing comes back into my life a little more. So I'm reading this book right now called Scattered All Over the Earth. It's by Yoko Tawada. It was translated from Japanese by Margaret Mitsutani. It was published earlier this year, I think like in March or something, and it's the first of a projected trilogy. I've heard it described as gentle dystopian, and it takes place in the far Earth future in Western Europe, mostly so far in Germany and I think in Denmark. And it pretty much follows like 4 or 5 different characters. Every chapter is from a different character's perspective, and all of their stories end up kind of intertwining. And the themes in this book are really heavy in immigration, borders, travel, where you're from, where you live, language, and as it ties in with all those other themes, is pretty much like the main base theme of this book. Lots of linguistic stuff in here, lots of people speaking different languages, which is interesting in itself because it's a translated work. So I'm reading these passages where people are speaking different languages and also heavily comparing the words that they're saying to their own home languages, and it's been translated. It's very interesting. So in this book, much of the world, and not all of it, because definitely not the US, but at least Western Europe and other parts of the world are kind of better off than we are now. Like, it's not quite a utopia, but countries are disappearing, and it's very mysterious. It's not like quite clear like what disappearing means, but in this book, in the time that we're reading it, having to do with these characters, Japan has disappeared. And nobody's calling it by its name. People just call it the land of sushi. I'm not sure if the whole country of Japan is just like gone off the face of the earth and therefore they've forgotten what the place is called. I don't know. There's mysterious things in here, but Japan is gone. One of our main characters is Japanese, and she's got stranded in Western Europe while Japan disappeared. So she had no home to go back to. So she is pretty much going around trying to find other Japanese people that she can speak her mother language with. She's made up a pan-Scandinavian language called Panska that she's using to speak to everybody with. And I don't know, it's good. I'm really enjoying it. It's a very slow, gentle book, and it's engaging, but not like in a crazy page-turning way. But I'm really enjoying it. It's very interesting. The concepts and the themes in here are very interesting, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm also listening to an audiobook, which is definitely much more of a page-turner. It's called Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. And, oh, this one is so good. This is... For one, it has a great narrator, which can definitely make or break a book for me. But pretty much the idea behind the premise of this book is that there are, again, like 4 main people whose stories all end up intertwining. One of the characters is a violinist, and she made a deal with the devil a long time ago to exchange her own soul for the souls of 7 different violinists who she needs to teach to make into great violinists so that she can gift her souls to the devil in exchange for her own. And she's known in the violinist circle of the real world as the Queen of Hell. And she is looking for her 7th student. And there's this other character who ends up becoming her 7th student. And she is a teenage trans girl, and she's just run away from home from an abusive home situation. She runs away to LA, ends up meeting the Queen of Hell, becoming her student. There's another character who her and her family run a donut shop in Los Angeles. It's one of these donut shops with the big plaster donut on top. And they're a family of space aliens who are in hiding from some galactic turmoil on their home planet. And they've taken on the form of humans, and now they run a donut shop, and they're in hiding from some other space aliens. They the woman who runs the donut shop, meets up with the Queen of Hell, and they start to develop a relationship, and they each know the other one's situation, and I think those are pretty much the main characters. Yeah, the violinist, the donut shop lady, and the violin virtuoso. And it's just so good. It's so fun and funny and interesting, and it's just such a joy to read, and I just like want to not stop listening to it. I just imagine it's going to keep getting better and better. So I definitely recommend that one if you're into, I don't know if any of that sounds good to you. It's so wonderful. I am in love with it. Garbage truck.
Welcome to another day in the life of
So I've been working on making bats lately. I've been working on my fancy kitten drum carder, and I'm working slowly to build up enough stock to add to the shop. Right now I'm working on a batch of cream naturally colored Rambouillet with some dyed merino blended in, and I'm very excited about it. It's been very fun. It's definitely a slow process. I typically will make one, maybe two bats a day if I'm lucky, and it's not something I work on every day. If I had, 8 hours a day to spend on it, I could definitely make them quicker, but as it is right now, I have to kind of like make a bat if I get a little bit of time to myself while River's napping or Lucy's at school or something like that. So it's a slow process, but I am building up a stock for my second run of bats in the Moonstone Dyeworks shop, and it's really, really fun. I love working with this fiber. I love hand carding. It's wonderful. So if you're interested in hand carded bats, I'm guessing sometime in October, maybe even late September, I'll have enough to add to the shop. And I've got a really, really nice collection of undyed Rambouillet plus different dyed fibers to work through right now. And I'm having so much fun combining these blends. it's lunchtime. I'm gonna have some leftovers for dinner. The other night I made like a pinto bean and vegetable green enchilada thing. And I'm gonna have the leftovers for lunch today. And after I'm done eating, it'll be time to go pick up Lucy from school. And once I get her, we're gonna drive to Eureka, which is the next town over, and do a couple things. So for Colin's birthday, which was at the end of July, I bought him a print off of Etsy that he liked, and it's this. And it just is the print, so I want to get it framed. And we've got a local frame shop in Eureka that I'm going to go to, drop it off there. So since we're going to be in Old Town Eureka, there are a couple of bookshops there that I was hoping to go to and check out. I'm going to have Lucy with me, so I don't know how it's going to go. I was kind of thinking I might do it this morning before picking Lucy up so that I could go bookstore browsing by myself, but it didn't work out. I did a bunch of other stuff instead, though. I'm really happy with how my morning has gone. So I'm going to take Lucy with me to the frame shop and the bookshop, and we'll see how it goes.
Violin, appreciating its newfound balance. Katrina, violins, but no Stradivarius strings. Of course, Phillips. There, in the empty 19. Right clothes, the right eyeshadow, showed enough light. Then, from across your voice, and try to smile. Cuts on your arms can leave scars, and people will see them when you play.
Oh, you're taking a picture?
I'm taking a video.
Oh, because I want it.
Hey Lucy, do you want to show me what you got at the frame store? Do you remember who that is?
No.
It's Uhura.
A camera.
And it's a finger puppet?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, come on, let's go.
How do you watch it with the top?
This one.
Nope. There's one in there.
Let's see. Show me. Oh, yeah. That looks like a good one.
Yeah, moving around. Your hand. What's this guy? Yeah. This.
Bye-bye.
It's that.
It's a camera. Can you say bye-bye?
Papa.
Bye-bye.